At the foothills of the Drakensberg, South Africa's highest mountain range, and on the border of Lesotho, lies Queen's Mercy, one of the poorest areas in the country. The Queen's Mercy community is fairly typical of rural Southern Africa. Settlements are spread out across the landscape, with a patchwork of protected conservation areas, small villages, and cattle-grazed grasslands. Uncontrolled veld fires are a problem in this area. Summer rains are followed by cold, dry winters. The grass dies back and fires are started to encourage new grass for grazing. But very often these fires get out of control and become unstoppable.
Yeah, the problem of this area is because of the wind, and the grass is too dry, and you are struggling to fight the fire because of the mountains and the steep slopes and terrains. Now it's difficult and it's windy.
I experienced a very, very huge fires around this area. It's normally start at May up until September, October.
Fire is a major problem in this area because it's causing a havoc to our grazing areas for our animals, our houses, even in our livestock. If you look at the cause of the fire, we find that is a lack of discipline. Some are burning the fires for the new grass to grow. At the end of the day, they fail to control it.
You see, what happens is that we've got people who stay there up there in the mountains, and they are looking after their cattle. So they stay there for quite a long time. They are the people who are causing fire. And also people who are removing honey from the trees, because they bend the tree so that the bees can fly away, then they can get the honey.
There is very little firefighting infrastructure close by, so the community needs to be as self-sufficient as possible. And so the residents of Queen's Mercy requested Firewise Community training.
For the past 3 days, we had people from the fire team that are well trained, that are training our community, and they are doing very, very well.
A Firewise community is one that has taken responsibility for its veld fire potential and takes action to reduce fire risks and hazards. The aim is to reduce unwanted fires and create a system of defensible spaces around homesteads before each fire season starts. The traditional and municipal leaders work together to organize a Firewise community.
I'm a community leader here, and I'm from a village called Khuluka up there, the second village from Lesotho. They like the training, they like to extinguish the fire, they know what is the problem of the fire, that's why they are here.
The Firewise Committee will work with the wider community, teaching them when and how to burn safely for protective fire breaks, and also when to burn to encourage new grazing. Volunteers will form the core of a Firewise Committee for the Queen's Mercy area, and they are trained to use fire beaters and canteens to control and put out fires.
The training was very successful since Monday up to, yes. And they were interested, more especially when they come into the beaters.
The local Working on Fire crew, based at the nearby Ongeluksnek Nature Reserve, are on hand to assist the local community with training and to prepare before the fire season.
The fire is just burning here because there's no fire breaks here. This is the problem here. If you can have those fire breaks and more again with awarenesses, fire awarenesses, so they must know that they mustn't touch the fire, that they can't stop it.
This training is just the beginning of a process of forming a Firewise community. More training will take place and the local schools will become involved in education programs. One of the projects would be to assess the risks and hazards in each settlement, showing residents how to reduce the danger to their homes and themselves. One of the most important responsibilities of the Firewise community will be to plan for the next fire season. The local leaders play a pivotal role in encouraging people to get involved and to protect their land.
We have to volunteer for the sake of our land, for the sake of our people, our animals. Don't expect anything. Yes, there can be something, but don't expect anything from now. This is not employment.
However, Firewise community projects have the potential to create dignified work in poor rural areas. Community members can be employed for 1 or 2 days a week during the 5 fire danger months of the year to carry out fire prevention work that is of benefit to the whole community. Firewise community projects are ideal community works projects for government's expanded public works program. They take place in areas with little or poor infrastructure, where unemployment is high and food security is a problem. The work undertaken benefits the whole community, while the benefits are widespread with up to 200 work and training opportunities created in each project.
Well, training for last year, people took it as if it's a play. It's now this year, after this training, that they realize that it's meaningful now. It's meaning job. And what inspires them more is money again. Oh, once it includes money, oh, it means it's serious. Then they become more interested. It will give the community something to eat, rather than to beg or stay with nothing.
We have got new members that they were not here last year, and it was on Saturday. They've got practicals, but they were afraid of fire. But the other ones, they were very good.
Firefighting is not a one-time learning thing. You cannot learn firefighting in one day. As you go along through the years, you learn to fight fires. I think the training that we have given to them is a very special training. It helps them. We actually teach them what to do. We actually take them to the field, and we make them aware. In this area, they don't have enough water. They don't have fire trucks. We teach them the correct way of burning fire breaks. In fact, we also advise them to say, if they want to burn fire breaks, they should contact the firefighting teams that is very close to come and help them.
Before the training, we were trying to stop fire, but without knowledge, because we were entering the fire anywhere, anyhow. We were burning. But after training now, we know, we have realized that what we were doing first was wrong and dangerous.
Ama types of fires, izinhlobo zomlilo. Sinezinhlobo zomlilo ezingu-3. Yes?
Surface.
Yeah?
Ground fire.
Yeah?
Ground fire.
Some of the challenges that we run in these courses is we find that some of the people are older. It's difficult to give them the training. But for me, because I can speak most of the languages, I read the English book and then I teach them in their own languages. Even an older person who cannot write and read will be able to understand and tell you about the fires, how to make fire breaks, and how dangerous a fire is.
There are many things to be done, because we have to go around removing fuels, papers, because these flying papers, they can take fire from a place to the house. As you see next to me, they are heavy fuels. Trees, long trees. In these long trees, there were suspended leaves which hangs over, which led the fire to the house. So we shall be cutting all those things. At school, children must be taught about fire, because some of those children are smoking. During lunchtime, they can smoke when the bell rings. They leave that fire there and go out. Some of the mamas here in the rural areas, they make fire anyway because they want to cook. There's no electricity here. After making fire, she realizes, hey, I've got no water. Let me just take a bucket and go to the river. Leaving that fire alone there now. We have already reported to the chief that in his meetings, he mustn't forget to remind the communities about fire. And we shall be there whenever he has a meeting to teach the community about fire.
When they got the uniform, it was so very wonderful.
They are always complaining to work with their casual clothes. So uniform is made for fire. It is important to have a uniform because you can identify our team at a far distance.
The people must take the responsibility, and I'm happy that the government is actually supporting us by funding us to go back to the people to give them the responsibility.
We believe in what is called do it yourself before anyone can come and help you. I mean, we've got to do things for ourselves. If maybe we've got some difficulties, then we can call for other people to come and help us.
I think it is very important that the training that we provide to these people does not end up to this 25 group of people that we train. So we are actually encouraging the volunteers to go out, spread the knowledge that they've got, and also encourage other people to come and join.
I think this cause, what we have brought to us, I can say in short, is a blessing. Because since I grew up in this land, we never experienced this.
It's going to be something that is going to change us as community. We know that from this training, we know that fire is an enemy and fire is a friend.
We did not know. We were lost. Now we are found. We were found. Lost and found community.